Hyperfocus. Another symptom.
This is the start of the addiction, right?
Obsession, addiction. Addiction sounds a bit more negative. Passion, I like to call it.
Yeah, I'll take that any day.
Brushing up the Amazonia with a wooden spoon and a cereal bowl. A bit different to reefscaping, isn't it? Do you like it?
Yeah.
Which Pokemon do you think would love it in there? It's all about the detailing.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new video. Miles and I, Miles is a new client and friend, going to scape his beautiful Awase Scaper Line 90 with Chihiros lighting. This is a WRGB2, fully controllable with an app. Awase Biomaster, is it 600? Yeah.
That's right.
Thermo Chihiros glassware, custom cabinet, which Miles has modified to fit the Biomaster in the bottom. Pressurized CO2 with inline diffuser, Chihiros again. There's that app controlled as well?
Yes.
The regulator, yeah, cool. ADA substrate, graded gravels, classic nature aquarium style, beautiful hardscape, all equipment supplied by Riverwood Aquatics and Aquarium Gardens. So shout out to those guys for their assistance. Shout out to Miles and his family for allowing me to intrude in their home and hopefully create something beautiful for them to enjoy. This is their home office, and work together in here so they can both hopefully enjoy this creation as it evolves and grows in. Miles has done a great job at soaking the hardscape, the wood especially, in the bath, flushing it out consistently so hopefully you won't get too many tannin leaching in the aquarium. We do have Seachem Purigen in the filter, which has been pre-rinsed. I learnt from the last install with Lawrence. We'll put the hardscape in first, substrate, and then plant, fill. Sounds easy. If you do enjoy the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and let us know what fish you put in here. Miles has got some fish already, which will. Are you going to probably wait a couple of weeks before they go in?
I'll take your advice.
Because we have got a mature filter. The filter's been running on his tank downstairs, lovely little scape. But because the ADA soil tends to leach a little bit of ammonia, probably just wait a week or so. If you've got test kits, you love your testing, don't you? So make sure we test for ammonia, nitrite before we add any fish. So this is Miles.
Hello.
This is his office. So Miles has got the hardscape layout, which we're going to replicate in here. Because you originally wanted to do Iwagumi.
Correct, and then we found that the main bit of wood, which was the one at the bottom here,
Yeah.
that was the one that changed our mind, I think.
Because you're originally quite reluctant to use wood, because
Yeah.
you come from a reef background.
Yeah, purely because of I like that clear water look, but obviously talking to you about Purigen and bits like that, I think it's going to really help. So
Yeah.
that was the bit that changed our mind.
I think one of the advantages to using wood and rocks is it's a bit more natural looking, and it works well with a lot of different plant textures, whereas just rocks on its own tends to lend itself to more of a Zen minimalist sort of layout. So here's Miles' beautiful bath, doubling up as a hardscape soaking area. Okay, here we have the beautiful two massive pieces of Frodo stones, probably about 30 kilos or so there, isn't there? Okay, so we're going to put the stones in first. Being very careful, rock against glass. Just being mindful it's not too close to the glass. Probably a third and a third for the rule of thirds. You can always put it back again.
Yeah, so that one wraps round.
This is the bit that floats, so this is really important that we kind of glue in. So we've got this coherent sort of grain running. So this looks like one giant piece here, and then at a right angle to this piece, to create a bit of tension, we've got this beautiful grain running here. And you know, these grains are big enough to actually wedge our epiphytes in, and in the longer term moss might be used. I tend to add moss later in the scape. Once it's mature, it tends to attract algae. This is the final, potentially the final kind of main hardscape composition. This area we'll just use the super glue and the filter wall, so we just basically get little pieces of this, wedge it into wherever you want the cementing to happen, add this, and it creates a solid bond. If Miles, when he's maintaining the tank, trimming, cleaning the glass, etc., if he does accidentally knock the hardscape, it's not all going to come tumbling down because it's all kind of glued together as a solid piece. Okay, top tip, just give your filter wall a little spray of water. Super glue is actually kind of activated with moisture, so if we just give it a little spray to make sure it does have a little bit of moisture on there, but not too much. It also makes it a little bit more easy to work with. And then just really carefully, because these are kind of delicately balanced, these pieces of wood together, wedge that in. Either use kind of powdered soil to disguise the whites, or obviously use some epiphyte plants, or both. Now you can use the liquid type for this. I don't actually have any to hand. This is the gel type. And then when that dries, it will form an absolutely solid bond. Anything that connects people with nature, in my mind, is a good thing. Okay, hardscape's in, secured in place, really happy with it. Quite a quick process because we already pre-planned how it's going to look, and in my mind it looks amazing. What I'm really impressed with is the colour kind of contrast of the wood and actually the paint job in the office. I think that dark brown and this kind of greeny, I don't know, what colour is it, Miles?
It's actually called Otterly. I don't think that means anything. I'd probably go with like a...
It's like an olivey, it's almost got a bit of blue in there.
It's not sage.
It's not, yeah, sage, yeah. But it really goes well with the dark brown of the wood, and the wood is actually transformed because it's been soaked. It's taken on this darker appearance, absolutely beautiful. And the hues are matched beautifully also with the Frodo stone or elderly stone. It's the same product effectively. So we're going for a nutrient-rich background and then a kind of convex or concave, depending on which way you're looking at it. Graded gravel, cosmetic sand foreground with detailed rock work, which we'll do at the end. So what I'm going to do is carefully add the following products. We have ADA Power Sand Advanced medium bag here, 6 litres. This goes at the bottom of the aquarium, and this will run all the way up. This will run all the way up to the stones here in the foreground, running all around the back of the aquarium, leaving the gap here. It's a natural kind of cave under the wood there. And then we've got 2 bags, 2 9-litre bags of ADA Aquascape Amazonia version 2, which I do believe doesn't have as much of an ammonia spike. It's actually a relatively small grain, although it isn't the powder type. It is smaller than Tropica soil or Aquascape soil. Okay, sit nice and gently. What we don't want to do is have all of the power sand kind of bouncing to the front of the aquarium, so try to get it as low down to the glass as you can without disturbing the hardscape. And then just gently pour all the way to the back. You can actually pour almost in a big pile and then scoop it over as necessary. A few stray little bits of, this is actually pumice stone, I believe, and you can see that kind of organic peaty material as well, containing lots of nutrients. There's added carbon, added bacteria. So lots of good stuff to help mature the tank, feed the plant roots. Now the Amazonia does actually come with these little root tab things which contain a lot of nitrogen. But I don't believe we need those. They're going to potentially give us a big ammonia spike because Miles is going to be dosing liquid fertiliser regularly. You don't necessarily need that extra nitrogen. What some people like to do is actually have a gap, so there's no visible power sand against the glass. What do you think, Miles? Would you rather just see plain soil, or would you rather have the power sand?
Plain soil.
Yeah? Okay, that's the power sand in. Next job is the aqua soil.
Wow.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Which Pokemon do you think would love it in there? Aqua soil, same process. Try not to knock the hardscape. So top tip, you can just pour it against the glass if possible and it'll bounce hopefully forward. There's the root capsules which we talked about, which we're not going to use because we don't need that extra nitrogen today. But just mindful, we don't want this soil coming forward here, and actually in the longer term, the aesthetics, we do want to create a lovely smaller rock composition next to these beautiful big rocks. So Miles is a big fan of matching textures and things, so when we've added the other gravels and stuff, it's just going to look amazing. These are just small pieces that we found in the bottom of the massive crate at Aquarium Gardens, which Dave kindly donated these. Doing them a favour, weren't we?
Tidying up, aren't we?
Yeah, tidying up. There's something just really therapeutic about playing with natural materials and creating your own underwater world, literally. So not only is it, you know, beautiful to look at, but we're creating a beautiful environment for the fish and the plants. You know, and with using the substrate system and the fertilisers, the CO2 and the lighting, you know, this all adds up to creating such a healthy environment for the plants. The plants actually then become almost the caretaker of the aquarium. The plants are like one of the best filters you can get. You know, think about them, how they work on planet Earth. Happy with it?
Yeah, really happy. I like the fact this is cupping the rock.
Yeah.
When we come along here, we're cupping as well.
Yeah.
You've got a nook here, and then that knot is the best.
Yeah. See, I love your attention to this because a lot of, especially newcomers to aquascaping, don't really consider these things, but they are really important details. And when you can see those details and you can see how they kind of all together and combine together to make a coherent theme, it really makes it a special. It takes it from like a good scape to a potentially great scape. One of the temptations would be just to kind of fill these with plants, but actually you kind of want to show these things off.
Absolutely.
Because you've got like shadowing and just, yeah, like the beautiful textures. Aquascaping techniques. Miles has invented one here, and he is crushing up the Amazonia with a wooden spoon and a cereal bowl. You heard it here first.
Absolutely.
Beautiful noise. There's a little bit of dust in there, but
There we go.
yeah, we'll fill up relatively slowly, so with the special red colander, of course. And we can brush it towards the back.
How deep are we going at the front?
Not deep at all, because it's just cosmetic. Unless you want it deep.
No.
So in my mind, it's like wasted landscape.
Yeah.
Anything coming up against the thing is almost wasted. It's a nice colour, isn't it? I think it goes really well with the Frodo. And it will get a little bit darker when it's wet, so it will really kind of blend nicely. Bit different to reefscaping, isn't it?
Oh, miles apart.
A few rocks in, chuck a few corals in, wait 3 years,
Yeah,
and then you're good. If you don't manage to kill everything in the meantime, it's all about the detailing.
Yeah, this is what will make the biggest difference, I think. Don't get me wrong, it's impactful at the moment, but then those small details, you know,
Yeah.
make it that full slice of nature, I call it.
It's really nice using the brush, actually.
Yeah.
What that does, it just makes it look more natural, like the stones protruding from the earth.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I sound like a stuck record because I say these same phrases over and over, but some people put my videos on to fall asleep to.
This is the start of the addiction, right?
I think so. Obsession, addiction. Addiction sounds a bit more negative. Passion, I like to call it.
Yeah, I'll take that any day.
Or passion in overdrive, maybe.
How often do you forget that?
I'm pretty good normally,
Oh, really?
but I text Emma and I got distracted. I think my meds must be wearing off.
Do you have to take them throughout the day?
No, it's just one in the morning. It's a slow release, basically. I get amphetamine.
Do you notice it wear off? So, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah. I just noticing my like ability to focus. I get distracted more easily. My working memory is reduced.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I do have a lot of self-awareness now, and that comes from meditating so much. A lot of people get like amphetamine, don't they make you even more hyperactive? But it has the
Everyone's got an opinion though, haven't
well, especially when they don't actually know much about it.
Yeah.
But because of how it acts on the dopamine system. So with ADHD, one of the kind of effects of it is a chronically low endogenous dopamine. So we don't have the same amount of dopamine as normal humans, basically.
Higher or lower?
Lower. And what that can do is it actually makes you seek. One of the side effects is it makes you seek thrill-seeking behaviour. to get artificially created. And that's sometimes where the hyperactivity comes in, because you're like, oh, I need to do this,
So
I need to do that.
There's something about a very telltale sign of someone that is ADHD is the fact that they're not caffeine sensitive.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I'm not.
It just chills me out.
I can drink, I can have a coffee and go to bed.
Yeah, exactly. Caught in the moment, mate. Yeah. Hyperfocus. It's another symptom.
I'll tell you.
Changing hobbies quickly.
Yeah.
But when you find one that you love, you like just go all in. Nice to have like as if it's broken off a piece and just landed there like nature, and then just like offer up your gravel around it just to make it look. You've got a little channel then. Do a little tiny one here just to make it look like it's fallen off again. See, this is nice, this little family. Yeah. Oop. Almost there with the cosmetic work. ADA Aqua Gravel, beautiful gravel to work with, matches this perfectly. So it's an in-between texture of the fine and the big. And then we can just grab a little handfuls of it and just almost randomly sprinkle. And it's picking out the grey and the rocks nicely. Because when you look at the rocks, there's like distinct grey bits and brown bits.
And then this side has the white.
And then if you look at this, there's brown bits as well. So it's sort of graded gravel. I'm a big fan of this. Some people like to use like a solid foreground carpeting plant, but it just looks a bit unnatural. The East Anglian Cichlid Association have invited me to do a talk. You should come along.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, a lot of fish keepers assume that aquascaping is like a separate entity to fish keeping. When you think about it, if you create a beautiful aquascape to look at and you really maintain it well, by default you're going to be looking after that aquarium and the fish are going to benefit as well. Okay, that is the hardscape pretty much done. We've got some detailed twigs to potentially put in later after the planting. I'm a bit jealous, which is always a good sign. You can just look at it for ages and there's so much detail stuff to pick out, and you can pick out like any tiny 5 centimetre square segment. You can look at it and it's almost like a mini scape on its own. You're like a fractal. You keep zooming in and it kind of repeats itself like sacred geometry. Always great to plant with as many plants as you can afford. Basically, this gives you the best chance of fighting algae. Also gives you instant impact in your aquascape. Okay, all the plants prepared. So many plants, probably 60 plus pots here. Go through each species very quickly. Anubias petite, Cryptocoryne willisii, Hygrophila pinnatifida, Monte Carlo, Starogania repens, Bucophalandra keddigang, Bucophalandra wavy green, Cryptocoryne becketii, Lindernia rotundifolia, Limnophila hyperoides, Pogostemon helferi, Hygrophila polysperma rosenavig, and Hygrophila coriambosa siamensis 53B, mature trident fern, mature Eriocalon Vietnam. So gonna have a little chat with Miles and we'll have a little think about where we're going to put each species, because there is actually limited space, as you can see. You've got a lot of kind of open foreground, but there is lots of space in the wood, of course, for the epiphytes. Fair amount of space in the soil, so we can plant very densely, which is good news for helping to avoid algae issues. Okay, fully planted now. What a lovely tank. Very happy with the planting. More importantly, Miles loves it. Yeah, I'll just run through the plants quickly, where they are and why we've put them where they are. Starting with the Monte Carlo, just around the foreground, actually tucked in as an epiphyte. That's going to kind of cascade forward, grow forward, quite similar to Lawrence's tank, which was the last install I did. And then moving back from that, we've got Pogostemon helferi in the kind of foreground, midground. Behind that, various crypts, including willisii, becketii, and there's a couple of little sprigs of Albedo brown. And then we have this kind of almost symmetrical with the planting, left and right. The stems at the back, in each corner, we have Lindernia rotundifolia, and then on the right, kind of focal point, 2/3 to the right, we've got the Limnophila hyperoides, and then a little bit of the mature Eriocalon just at the end of the pathway. To the left of that, we've got Hygrophila siamensis 53B, then Hygrophila polysperma rosenavig kind of around here, and then some more Lindernia, and again the crypts reflected on the right there, so the Willisii and the Becketii. Epiphytes attached to the wood and the rocks, we've got Anubias petite, Bucophalandra kedigang along this branch here, Bucophalandra wavy green, mostly around here, and then the rest of it is Anubias petite, some wavy green here, trident fern of course here, a little bit of the Hygrophila pinnatifida just towards the surface, hopefully to get a nice red colour under the lighting. A little bit of Monte Carlo as an epiphyte here. And there we have it. Beautiful scape, fill up with water now. Then we'll get the filter, the CO2 fitted, and then I can go home. I've had a great day, mate, thank you.
Yeah, likewise, it's been brilliant.
Is that okay?
Brilliant, absolutely love it. It's a great bit of art.
Wish you well to enjoy it in the longer term.
Yeah, thank you so much.
My pleasure, and I've got a bit of a tradition. If any client who hasn't already got my book, I always try to get them a copy. I think this is genuinely the last one in the world. This is actually, believe it or not, this is second hand. I got it from USA.
Oh wow.
So I've written a little note in the front.
Brilliant, thank you so much. No, be the first book up on the shelf in the office, so thank you.
Okay.
Really appreciate it. No, it's been brilliant. I've thoroughly enjoyed today, so really appreciate it.
I'll come back in a few weeks and do a follow-up.
Yeah, no, would love that.
Oh.
Can't wait for it to all settle in. It is great, it really is.
Yeah, it's going to look awesome. Beautiful wood, beautiful rocks, beautiful plants.
Really
This cabinet's mega. I'm going to, when I do the follow-up, we'll go through a real detail equipment kind of rundown because there's so much to show everyone. Yeah, cool. Right, we'll say cheerio. Cheerio.